what do you want to achieve, right?
Yeah.
Like if you want to hire a personal trainer, but you're 100 pounds overweight, maybe you need a dietitian to work on your nutrition habits because really the bulk of it's all nutrition anyway. And maybe you need both, right? But maybe you need to spend that money there to get into the better habit on nutrition. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, what is your real goal?
Yeah, damn. And again, it goes back to the framing, like the way that you frame, like literally just the way you frame it. I guess because we're all always in our own heads and we're learning from the same people, or watch the same people all the time. So, like talking to somebody like you that's new, we've never met before, and hearing the way that you think about these things literally just reframes it in my head. And I hope anybody listening to this does the same thing for them too.
Right.
And not to give too much away on your coaching aspect, but that finding the purpose, like how does somebody find purpose? Is it
Well, again, your purpose is going to change, it's going to evolve as you move through life, right? So through those phases of your life. And I don't mean it only changes every 20 years, but I mean, it's not going to change every day. Then that's not really a purpose. That's probably more of an objective or a focus area you have right now, that you're doing to get to your purpose. Um, again, a big way that we kind of get to people's purpose is through the journaling, right? Because as they're talking about things and there's different prompts and people journal for longer than 10 days. So let's say the typical program is 6 weeks, is 45 days. And I do programs that are 12 weeks, so 3 months. A few people have re-upped, but I don't do 6 months, but you'll see people online like it's this much per month, this much for 3 months, this much for this month, this for 12 months. I don't want anybody to sign up for 12 months. How would they even know, and then you get 3 or 4 months into it, like, I don't know if this is working, this is for me.
right?
I think 6 weeks is enough time to get somebody started down the path. Like I said, they leave with a 90-day plan for the next 90 days. And we stay in touch on voice, text, etc. They'll always jump on a phone call or whatever. And through that process, they typically make a lot of progress. But back to the purpose, you don't just journal 10 days, but that gets us started. You journal the whole 45 days. But through the journaling, we really start to uncover what people really are interested in and why. I was working with a guy, talking about this on Instagram a little bit, working with a guy who got laid off, was in residential construction, project management, was trying to get another job just like that, banging heads against the walls, like mid to late 40s. Didn't want to leave the city he lives in because, he has shared custody with his kid. And, so like traveling away during the week somewhere else wasn't going to work. And, his ultimate goal is to start a nonprofit to use his construction, project management, and actual real construction know-how to help the community, like rehab homes and help people. So you got that. That's what he really wants to do. How are you going to get there? There's no money. So one of the things, and you need to be objective, like from back to your domains of your life, co-parent, et cetera. All right. So now you know what you're working with. So kind of through that whole process of working it through, right? Like, well, you got to open your aperture. Like, what are other things you could do? Like, stay in the community. Oh, there's also a certain amount of money he needed to make. So make that amount or more, right? So you'd have some money then to put toward heading toward creating this nonprofit of community service to fills his soul up and his energy and all that, right? So we identified, there's like law enforcement, there's municipal, like the city, county, and state government, all sorts of jobs. Started applying for jobs, paying what he wanted to make, plus with overtime, he can make like another 20 to 25% over what he even thought he needed. So there's money you're throwing off now. You can actually invest in your long-term purpose. But we got to that through, besides conversations, through journaling, right? Through the journal prompts, right? Now, therapy could get you there too, probably, but over like, I don't know, 3 months of however much per session for an hour a week as you talk about different things and how it's affecting your personal life, and you're worried about work, you're worried about getting money, you're running out of money because you don't have a job. So it's something wrong with therapy. I'm saying, like, for him, it's, I just feel like some of this is like more basic. And then through that, like you say, well, I'm having trouble coping, co-parenting, then you might go get a therapist who specializes in healthy co-parenting relationships. So again, the right resource for the right job, right? Um, and again, it was like setting up a nonprofit, and it wouldn't be me, right? That's why it's a short 6 week thing. Then you go hire somebody when you have the money, right, to help you set the nonprofit up because they specialize in it, right? So again, I think it's getting the right thing. So back to like, how do you find your purpose? Part of that is having somebody help guide you, right, through that process. And it doesn't just have to be me. I mean, there's a number of people that can help you, with that, because there's a lot of things that go with that. Right? Well, you say that's your purpose. All right. So to do that, you're going to need to be able to amass this amount of money, or you're going to need to have this kind of flexibility. How will you do that if you're on this traveling job, or And by the way, if you got this job, this guy could have gotten a job like out of town somewhere, been gone, Monday, come back Friday, probably made double what he needed. But then you're not being a co-parent, and that was really important, and you'd be out of alignment there, right? So so I say you got to look at all this stuff in its totality, right? And the core 10, because we're probably just about out of time, but the core 10, just, for me, are your faith and beliefs, right? Sometimes it's faith in yourself. It's not faith in God. Sometimes you feel like they don't believe in God, right? But it's like, what is this higher power, or like higher energy, or faith and beliefs? It's your mindset, and it's your time control. So I kind of put your faith, your mindset, and your time. Those are the only three things you can really control. Now, obviously, you can control your actions, right? Well, your actions are guided by your thoughts, by where you're spending your time. So you control those three. Those become the base, right? Then I think you get a kind of a consistent daily routine. For me, the next thing is your daily routine around that: journaling, reading, goals, and gratitude. You do it 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes while you're doing something else. Your fitness, your health,